Okay, Shalom. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Command and General YAHANNA. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The I.S.U.P.K is not affiliated with any other group, you understand? Today is Tuesday Brotherhood Class, and I'm priest and officer of 500, Shabbat Ban Ban Yamyan, you understand, holding it down. In the city of London, in the UK, you understand? And since 1969, the I.S.U.P.K has been teaching that the so-called blacks and transatlantic slave trade and the natives of North, Central, and South America, according to the Bible and other historical records, you understand, archaeology, they are true biblical Israelites, you understand? You know what I mean? And today's topic is, you understand, UFOs and restoring brotherhood. You understand? Understanding what the so-called UFOs are that we see in the sky, that we see on the news, and we see on YouTube and all over the internet, and also understanding that in the midst of all the things that we're going to see in the last days, like UFOs, which are actually IFOs, you understand, which we're going to get into. But in the midst of seeing all these things, we have to remember that in the midst of all this, in this Babylon, in this hell, we have to remember that we have to restore brotherhood among our people, among our brothers, and among our sisters. We should restore brotherhood, man. Brotherhood and sisterhood is the key to restoring our nation to what we once were, man. You understand? And greater than we once were. You understand? Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatam to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alatah Hashem Yahshua to the sisters. Alright, we got young man James, he's out here. We got can you break down women teaching for the up off my okay. Right, so a small breakdown is women cannot teach, you understand? I mean, in the Bible, so like if you get me Titus chapter 2, I believe.
Constant.
Yeah, Titus chapter 2. Right, the young man asks, can women teach or break down if women can teach, right? Women, sisters in the scriptures has always played their part, you understand? You know what I mean? Nobody's just cutting out the sisters. Sisters have played their part in this nation, you understand? In upbringing our children and teaching them the law and our customs and our ways, and teaching our young daughters how to conduct themselves, you understand? But women do not have a place to teach among the congregation or among Israel. They don't have a place to lead the nation. You understand? But if you get that, okay, get me Titus chapter 2 verse. Let me see. Start from verse 11, I believe.
It's 2
got that,
verse
yeah?
11. Cancer.
Go ahead.
For the grace of God that bringeth salvation have appeared to all men, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lusts, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world. So, like you said, is it second Titus or first Titus?
So, okay, say that again. You cut out. Say what you were going to say.
Is it first Titus? Sorry, it's only one Titus, isn't it? Lucky.
Maybe Titus chapter 3, perhaps.
God, I think it is that, yeah.
So you got Titus 3, yeah?
Can't.
Yeah, read. Might be. I think it's right there. If you read on, so like it.
What verse 12 or 11 to like it? Sorry, so what verse to like it? So
What?
So like it, what verse? Verse.
Start from verse 1.
Can't. Titus 3 verse 1. Put them in mind to be subject to principalities and powers, to obey magistrates, to be ready to every good work, to speak evil of no man.
Alright,
To
so I can drop that. If you
God,
get me same chapter and start from verse 1. Chapter 2 and verse 1.
answer.
Mm-hmm.
Titus 2 verse 1. But speak thou
Mm-hmm.
things which became sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience.
So
Aged women
understand, we speak the
likewise.
things of sound, but that there be order and discipline among us, you understand? That the men will be sober, you know what I mean, grave, have some temperance, have something about them, you understand? Something that you will see in the UPK among our brothers, man. You understand? We have our way, but we keep that discipline, man, that discipline of the scriptures. To keep unto the oath of the Lord, you understand, and how we conduct ourselves, you understand? Lawfully so. You know what I mean? Read on.
The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
Mm-hmm.
Salakia. Not false accusers, not giving much wine, teachers of
Mm-hmm.
good things.
Teachers of what?
Salakia. Teachers of good things.
You understand? The age woman is supposed to conduct herself likewise, you understand? She's supposed to be an example unto the younger woman and the women and the children after her, you understand? That's what the woman plays, the sisters play the role in regards to teaching. Not so much as teaching a class or, you know, being at camp, because that is the warfare, that's the front line, that's the battlefield. That's for the brothers to go out to warfare, you understand? In Israel, our culture is not to have women soldiers, but our women are supposed to be at home looking after the picking them, you understand? And raising them accordingly, according to the law, teaching good things. Read on.
That they may teach the younger women to be sober, to love
That
their
they teach
husbands.
what?
The younger
No,
women to be
no. That
sober.
they may teach what? Right, you
The younger
understand?
women.
That they may teach the younger women to be sober. You understand? That they be an example unto the younger sisters coming up, the children coming up. You understand? That's where sisters be teaching, not at camp, not on the front line before men and women. No, but before the children and teaching the younger sisters. You understand? Read verse 4 again.
That they may teach the young women to be sober, to
Mm-hmm.
love their husbands, to love their children.
Mm-hmm. That's right, man.
Verse 5.
You understand? That's what they're supposed to teach the younger women, man. Not like today, where our community is such a upside down and disorientated state. You understand? Where our sisters have no understanding of how to conduct themselves, how to be feminine and be sisters. You understand? How to conduct themselves according to the customs of the Most High and to our people. You understand? Read on.
To be discreet,
Mm-hmm.
chaste, keepers at
Mm-hmm.
home, good,
Keep us
obedient
at
to their
home, man.
own husband.
The whole world doesn't need to know they're there. You understand? That's Israelite sister culture, man. You understand? That's how women act in their righteous state, man. In
Right.
our culture, in our way, according to the law, you know what I mean? The whole world doesn't know they're there. They're discreet, man. Nobody knows they're there. You understand? They so down and disciplined in their conduct, man. No one even barely recognize they're there. Like, not even like, oh, this is oh, Salakia. You know what I mean? Freedom.
Good, obedient to their own husbands, that the
So
word
obedient
of
to their
God.
own husbands. You understand? Obedient to their own husbands, bro. You understand? Not running around here talking about you're gonna be this man and that man and that man and this man. No, you're gonna be your own husband. You understand?
Right.
You're gonna be your husband. You understand? And whoever his sister lied with, she cannot find the next man. You understand? She ain't a brother. She can't find the next man. And she better be loyal to her own husband, man. You understand? She better not try to find some next man. You understand?
Can't.
Read on.
Can't. That the word of God be not blasphemed.
That's right.
Likewise.
You understand? That the word of the Most High be not blasphemed and lied upon, man, defiled, man, by our vain customs that we see today in the Christian church and these fake groups, man. You understand? Those are that's the blasphemy that has defiled and spoken evil of the Lord, man. But it has not represented the Most High or his true will, you understand? And how things are supposed to be. You know what I mean? Alright, so no flip. So in regards to that question, you understand, women are to teach the younger women and the children, man. You understand? But not to be teaching all over the congregation, not to be all over the planet, you understand, teaching and giving breakdowns. Nah, that's not the way of the Lord, you understand? Alright, so going back to the topic. Yes,
Yeah, can't sir. I think the scripture that we were looking for was 1 Timothy 2:12, sir.
The what?
The scripture that we were looking for, I think he was looking for the one that suffer not a woman to teach, nor to authority over the
No, we call it up on there, man. You understand? That's what the woman teaches. You understand? What the woman teaches is the young women and the children, man. You understand? But I digress. You understand? If we go to Acts chapter 1 and verse 9, Book Sharp, you understand? Because today's topic is UFOs and restoring brotherhood. You understand? Understand that on the news, on TV, on YouTube, you see thousands of videos and people posting up many things online in regards to UFOs, and which is short for unidentified flying objects. You understand? Well, in the UPK and in the Bible, of course, you understand. We have identified what those things are, man. Those are IFOs, man. Those are the chariots of the Most High. Those are the chariots of the Lord that will come and that will take surface and reveal themselves to the world and bring great destruction when our King returns, man. You understand? This is not no fairy tale. This is what you have been seeing. On the sci-fi films, because they've seen many things. You understand? They have seen many they have seen many interpretations of this, because they have both read our records and have witnessed UFOs themselves, and they've made their own thing up with aliens and such. But understand that those chariots, those so-called UFOs, are the chariots of the Lord, man. And in that day, you will all read them, man. You understand? But read that book, Bishop.
Concert, Acts 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into the heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as you have seen him go into heaven.
So understand this, yeah. When our King was taken up, you understand, he went up into the cloud, which is a chariot, man. You understand? Now the chariots or the so-called UFOs, that's what they're called today, can blend into the clouds and appear as clouds, which is why it refers to as a cloud in this precept right here and in other precepts before it. You understand? Because these vessels are unlike what we have today. These vessels are what our oppressor can conduct or create today. You understand? And they can cloak, if you will, into clouds. You understand? And when our King was taken up, there was two men. You understand? Two men that appeared either side of the chariot. And these men are the angels, man, the Allahai, understand? They were speaking to the men of Galilee, the followers of our king at that time, you understand? And they were speaking to them and telling them, listen, man, the same way that he has left this place, the same way he shall return, man. And that's how our king will return. We're with a chariot, man, from the sky, man, you understand?
Yeah.
People believe this is a fairy tale book. But really and truly, when you look at, the scientific, you know, the technological advancements, if you will, of the world that we live in today, and look at this science fiction of today, they mainly get that from the scriptures, man. You understand? They mainly get their ideas of things they put in movies from the scriptures. You understand? And so the things that we see today is just them trying to manifest something that the Lord has already had in place from years and years ago, from thousands of years ago. The Lord has already had these UFOs, if you will, around. You understand? But Salaki, if you drop that, can you get me Revelation chapter 1 and verse 9, Bo Bashar?
For the one concert. Revelations 1 verse 9. I, John, who also am your brother and companion in tribulation and in the kingdom and in patience of Yahushai, was in the isle that is called Patmos for the word of Yahweh and for the testimony of Yahushai. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet, saying, I am Alpha and the
Salaki,
Omega.
if you can go back to verse 9, because you cut out a little bit.
Content.
Salaki, go back to verse 9, Bo Bashar.
Revelations 1 verse 9. I, John, who also am your brother and companion in tribulation and in the kingdom and the patience of Yahushai, was in the isles that is called Patmos for the word of Yahweh and for the testimony of Yahushai. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet, saying, I am the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest, write in a book and send it unto the 7 churches.
Salaki, drop that. I think that's the wrong precept, Salaki. Hold on. I'm trying to figure this out right now. Right, Salaki, 9 verse 1. My bad, Salaki.
Revelations 9 verse 1. And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven onto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.
Salaki, you
And
still
he
there?
opened, Concert, did you hear me, sir?
Nah, you dropped out. I don't know what you cut out a bit.
Concert.
Just start from the star falling from heaven. Start from there.
Okay. And I saw a star fall from heaven onto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. Can you hear me, sir?
So you understand, the star that fell from the heavens, you understand, that's our King Yahushua, you understand? That's when he returns. He will fall from the heaven. He's that star. He's that great that famous figure of renown. You understand? This is what the star means, like a superstar. You understand? That's what they're referring to. You understand? That's the star that is referring to. The star that is referring to is Yahushua, our King. You know what I mean? When he falls from the sky, and how would he come from the sky? He's just going to literally just drop out of the sky. He's going to come back as the angel spoke of it. You understand? The angel said that he will return in the like manner that he left. And so he will return from the midst of the clouds, man. From the midst of the chariots, he will return. Just as we read in Acts 1 and 9. So I can read on.
And he opened the bottomless pit And there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit.
Right. So you can drop that because you understand our point was made. But the point is that our king shall return from the clouds, man. You understand? Our king will return like the same way he left with those chariots. You understand? If you drop that, and that's when he does come. He does come to destroy and bring great slaughter to these lands. You understand? And subdue all the nations and all those that think they have power. He will bring them down. Man. You understand? Okay. If you drop that, and can you get me Psalms chapter 104 and verse 13?
Cut one concert. Psalms 104, verse 13. He watered the hills from his chambers. The earth is satisfied with the fruit of thy works.
So, okay, what verse you in?
Okay, Psalms 104, verse 13.
Oh, so okay, my bad. Verse 3.
Verse,
Not so okay.
verse 3. Answer. Psalms 104, verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the cloud of his chariot, who
Mm-hmm.
walketh upon the wings of the wind.
So you understand? Who maketh the cloud of his chariots to walketh upon the winds, man. You understand? Meaning what? That the chariots, the Lord, are also referred to as clouds. You understand? They're also
Right.
referred to as clouds. So understand that in the Bible, this is not a fairy tale book, man. This is just the facts. This is just the facts
Right.
of all the millions of people online who have been looking and seeing these these so-called UFOs in the sky, and they think it's some green man in there or some octopus in there that is controlling everything, and he's going to abduct people. And nah, those chariots here are real, and those things that
Right.
they see, which they cannot understand, those are things that will bring the destruction of this place, man. They will see them again, and they will all be open. You understand? Is there there must be a little bit more on that? I think if you read on.
Yeah, can't, sir. Can't, yeah. Verse 4. Who maketh his angel spirits, his ministers, a flaming fire.
Mm-hmm. No sweat. So I think that's it on that. You know what I mean? So now if we jump to Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 15,
Can't, sir.
you understand? Chariots of the Lord is what will bring about the destruction. You know what I mean? Like in warfare, there's always been vehicles of destruction and war. Always been some kind of machinery that was used in battle of ancient times and today. But the machinery and the vehicles used, the vessels used for battle by the Lord and his army of angels are these
Right.
chariots, man. Are these
Right.
so-called clouds, you understand? Or UFOs. These are the vessels of war that the Lord will use to not only deliver the children of Israel who have earned their right, but also to bring about the destruction and bring war to the enemies of Yasha'Allah. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Can't. Isaiah 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire,
Mm-hmm.
and with his chariots like a whirlwind,
You
to
understand?
render
Like
his
a
anger.
wall. You
Mm,
understand? All of these things that we see, that we think, and that they think they understand, they haven't really begun to really fathom the power of the Most High, man, and the vessels and the arms and the feet and the hands of the Lord, man. Those that take the orders of the Lord, those angels and our King, you understand? They haven't really comprehended what power the Most High really has. You understand? Read on.
Khan, to render his anger with fury
Mm-hmm.
and his rebuke with flames of fire.
That's right, man. Flames of fire, man. Let this place burn, man. You understand? Let Babylon fall, man. You understand? Read on.
So, like you said, if I could, sir.
Go ahead.
Greece now, the Greek islands now are on fire right now. The
That's right.
news has just said, just to confirm
Damn
what
right.
we,
Damn right, man.
yeah.
You understand? More fire, man. And there's more to come. That little fire we see there that we've seen in California before, and we see in Greece now, you understand, the Greek islands now. Listen, man, there's more fire to come, man. Fire
Mm-hmm.
will touch America, Babylon the Great,
Khan,
man, and the UK,
Khan,
and all over these great kingdoms that have oppressed and destroyed the children of Israel. These kingdoms will see fire. You understand? Just how Greece at one time destroyed and oppressed the children of Israel, now they will
mm-hmm.
the benefits, man. They will understand judgment. And this is only but a taste of what is to come for everybody. You understand?
Khan,
More will come. Most I Christ.
Khan,
But yeah, read on from there, Boker Shop.
Khan, sir. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the
You
slain
understand?
of the Lord shall be many.
The way the Lord will plead with anything and anybody is by bloodshed, man.
Right,
Bloodshed, great slaughter. The slain of the Lord shall be many. Now, where do
right.
you hear that about that in the Christian church? Hmm?
Mm,
I mean, when you hear about the great judgment of the Most High Power, man, you
Khan,
understand? When we hear about these things, man, only when you're reading the Bible according to the sound doctrine, man, you understand?
right.
Only when you understand what the Most High of this Bible is about, man. The Most High Power is not one to play with, and He is not no fairy tale God that you can go to some stone tablet or idol that you bow to and you give gold to and you pour milk
Mm,
over or some nonsense like that. Nah, man. This is the Most High Power, man. The real God, the only
right,
living power that has any
right.
authority over the earth and all that in it is it and is around it. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
creator of all things, the heavens and the earth. You understand? And
Khan,
war is how he will plead in this place, man. He will not plead with these people, these vile people, man, who are unclean. He will not plead with them. He will bring slaughters to them and bring them into subjection, bring them into their rightful place under the children
right.
of Israel, man. You understand? Read on.
Khan. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together,
So
saith the
them
Lord.
that purify themselves and they're happy here, man. Those that love this place and live so fruitfully and so well and love the great evil of this place. They love all the philosophies and the vain BS, the unclean laws and the vile kingdom, the oppression of your people. They love all of that, man. You understand? They love this place where the people are destroyed and yet they can benefit off of the suffering of their own brothers and sisters. Those that love this place and love the Christianity and the vain philosophies of this world, man, and love all the uncleanness as the unclean food, man, know that the Lord will bring his judgment swiftly upon you, man. This is not the rest of Yasha man. This is not the rest of the Black Hispanics and Native Americans. You understand? Where your people are being destroyed and oppressed, and this land is defiled with unlawfulness, man. You understand? This is not the rest of Yasha man. This is not the rest of those who claim to serve the Most High Power and, you know what I mean, claim to be righteous. This is not their rest. They will never be happy here and never be so loving in these gardens of sin, man. You understand? We love the gardens of righteousness. We love the restoration of our nation and our proper rightful place on this earth in the service of the Most High. You understand? Any more on that?
La'asa.
Okay, no sweat. If you drop that, and can you get me Psalms chapter 68 and verse 17, Bokashah?
For the one called Psalm 60. Psalm 68, verse 17. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among
So I
them.
can read that one more time. So I can read it
Hold
one
on,
more time,
country.
Bokashah.
Psalm 68, 17. The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels.
That's right, man. That's the army of the Lord, man. These chariots are not some, I don't know, what, I do know, you know what I mean? These chariots are not what is perceived of in the church, man.
That's
There's
right.
just some lovely, cushiony cloud where everybody's took it up and they can just, like it's some kind of, like it's some kind of block castle, you know, the boxing castle. That's what the
Yeah,
Christian church believe it is, man. But they
God.
don't understand that these are vessels of war and transportation. Yes, they are able to transport Israel and deliver us out of this place, but they are also made for war, man. You understand? They're made for warfare to fit the needs of thousands of an army, man. To go to war against those who have opposed the Most High power, man, and our King Yahweh Shai and Yasha man. You understand? They have
Right.
opposed the people of the Most High and have to return and defy judgment. They have their armies, their militaries, their air force, their navy. You understand? Which will all be destroyed by these chariots. They will be brought to nothing, nothing but
That's
ash
right.
before the chariots of the Lord and the great armies and the hosts of the Most High. So, like, if you read it one more time, Mokasha.
Got it on country. Psalm 68, verse 17. The chariots
Mm-hmm.
of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place.
That's right, man. The same way in Sinai, Mount Sinai, the children of Israel were in the wilderness, man. You understand? And they were beneath the cloud, man, beneath the chariot of the Lord, man. When they followed on the marshal, you understand? And the chariot of the Lord was with them. You understand? This is what the Most High is referring to, man. This is what this Bible is about. It is about the children of Israel and being redeemed out of their captivity, man. And
God.
that's what the Bible has been about. The Bible has only been about. You read the Bible in its entirety, you will see an ongoing of the children of Israel being redeemed when they turn from their wickedness and turn from the love of these heathens
Yeah.
and serve the Most High. Then we will be redeemed, man. But this is the last of all of those times, man. You understand? This is the great and powerful one where all these kingdoms will be faced under the rulership, the long-term rulership, man, of Yasha'al. These will be brought down, man, and brought down very low. If you read verse 18, Mokasha.
Cut counter. Thou hast ascended on high. Thou hast led captivity captive. Thou hast received gifts from men, for men. Yea, for the rebellious also, that the Lord God might dwell among them. Read it
Mm-hmm.
again, Tilaki.
You understand? No sweat. You understand? And that's the thing, man. We have served in captivity. We have served and we have understood all the things of judgment as a people. But the Lord will show who He's with in the last days, man. Just like in the time of Egypt when He was in captivity and received oppression and went through so much, yet and still the Lord was able to show His power in that day and show He will again with our King Yahushua. You understand? So if you could drop that then can you get me Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 1, Brother Kishar?
Go on, Council. Zechariah 5, verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits.
This is what he's trying to describe. Imagine in his time where there isn't even any cars in his time, man. The technology that we have today. Now imagine what he's trying to perceive this as a flying roll. You understand? Trying to describe its size and its mass, trying to go into it, you understand? Read on.
God will answer. Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, and on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief,
Mm-hmm.
and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof.
You understand? The chariots of the Lord will consume and destroy those who have opposed the Most High and his people. Just to sum it all up. You understand? The chariots of the Lord is what will bring forth the judgments of the Lord, man, which is the vessel which will be used to carry out the orders given, you understand, by the Most High. You know what I mean? The people that are receiving, the beings that are receiving these orders are the Alahayim, the angels, and our King Yahushua. And they will carry out the orders because these tools of battle, you understand? With these vessels of war, they will bring forth judgment, man. Just like you see in the movies. Where do you think they got it from, man? This is where they get it from, man. The Bible, man. Our records, they steal everything from us. You understand? And just like how they've stolen our people, stolen everything from us,
Right,
God will bring judgment and consume them with fire, man. You understand? And
right,
subdue their
right,
nations and their governments. And all their power that they think they have will be brought to nothing, man. You understand?
right,
The Lord has written it, man. You understand?
right,
These chariots, the Lord, are vessels of war, but they are not no spaceman who, wants to speak your language and wants to be your friend like E.T. or, wants to abduct you and probe you. Nah, the only alien in there is the Alahayim and the angels who will come to commit to the orders of the Father, man. You understand?
right.
Okay, so Salak, if you drop that, can you
Um,
jump to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 2?
Call on council. Okay. No, is that the Ecclesiastes?
In the Apocrypha.
Yeah, can't,
Go
sir.
for it.
Just 1 second. So lucky the one. I'm just gonna 1 second, 2 seconds. Sir.
Go for it. Yeah, if you have any questions, just type them in. You understand? Trooper gets this precept. You know what I mean? And understand, man, that the UFOs, these IFOs, you understand, are the chariots of the Lord, man. That's what we're bringing out right now. And in the midst of all things, best to know what we're dealing with. These things that are mysteries to the common folk of this land. These are the salvation of Israel, man. This is what will bring forth the salvation of Yahshua. When the Christian church believe and think that salvation is some mythological, you know, they think that everyone's going to be happy in this rainbow
Answer.
and man. Destruction will come to this place. You got it, yeah?
Answer. Ecclesiastes. Sorry. Wisdom of Solomon. Uh, was it 5, sir? Verse. Sorry, Salakia. 1 verse 5.
5 verse 2. 5
5
verse
verse
2.
2. Salakia, sir. 5 verse 2.
You got it, yeah?
Answer. I'm just trying to get the chapter. I'm on to the 3, 4, 5. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon 5 verse 2. Salakia, sir. When they see it,
Go for it.
they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
You understand? When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, man. In the midst of all that they have committed against the children of Israel and the wickedness that they have allowed to infest the earth with, you understand? These people, man, when they see it, when they witness the great host and the greatness of our Lord's multitude, you understand? They will have terrible fear, man. You understand? Read on.
Mm-hmm. Answer. And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation,
Mm-hmm.
so far beyond. Salakia, sir. So far beyond all that they looked for.
You understand? This strangeness of their salvation, because they were always taught that some white guy with blue eyes and blonde hair, or this Caesar Borgia is going to come down and give everybody hugs and kisses and some rainbow BS. That's what they thought. They thought some happy duppy, lovey dovey BS was going to come and they were all going to be happy and, banging a tambourine and worshiping pagan rituals and Christmas and birthday and all that BS. You know what I mean? That's what they thought. It's a strange thing to them, to this world, man. A strange thing for them, to experience the Lord's salvation that He will bring forth, man. The Lord is bringing forth war, man. You
That's
understand?
right.
He is destroying. You know what I mean? He's going to physically destroy them, put down these cities and these strongholds that they have put up, man. Their bases and their militaries, their tanks, their air force, their navy, their base force. You understand? It's all going to be destroyed. Today, in this day, we stand and service the Lord. We destroy the strongholds of doctrine, the strongholds that have defiled the minds of Yasha'Allah. But when that time is up, and those that have been cleansed of their mind of this place, the Lord will bring forth the destruction of all of the principalities of this earth that hold themselves and think themselves higher than the Most High. Well, He will bring them great terror and fear in that day. He will show them what true fear and terror is and what they should be afraid of, rather than their own vanity that they promote on this planet. You understand? Read on.
One can't. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, a proverb of reproach.
You understand? Sometimes they may have had some kind of approach and doubt to our salvation and what the Lord will bring forth. Because of the times and the things that have happened on this earth, they have long forgotten of the Father and our King. You understand? This is He, man. This is He who they spoke of. This is He who we speak of in the school, man. Who we salute and utter His name in our salute towards one another, man. You understand? This is our King, man. Yahweh, man. You know what I mean? Sent from the Most High Power, Yahweh. You understand? To come to bring forth the destruction and the terror that this earth is so in need of. Read on.
Khan. Khan, sir. We fools accounted his life madness and his
Mm-hmm.
end to be without honor.
Mm-hmm.
How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh? And his lot is among the saints.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore have we erred from the way of truth.
You understand?
And the
Because of
light,
their doubt, they have erred from the way of truth. In this land and in the last days, our brothers and sisters will have recognized they have erred from truth because they couldn't believe that our salvation will come from the heavens, man. They didn't believe that the destruction of our oppressor and his vile kingdom would come by the way we have prophesied on those street corners, man. They have never believed in it and could understand, and so that's why they erred from the truth. They erred from the sound knowledge that the Lord gave the children of Israel, man. They have erred from our heritage and our culture because they wanted to love Massa and be a part of his kingdom. And now those who have erred, they will have recognized their position. At this time, when they are witnessing the chariots of the Lord, they would have recognized their fault in the matter. You understand? Read on.
right, Khan. And the light of righteousness have not shined unto us.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun of righteousness rose not upon us.
Yes, it
We
rose not
wearied
upon
us.
them because they decided to be sinful, man. Because they forsook the law and the oath and the covenant made to the Most High and our King. That's why the light of righteousness did not shine upon them because they were unrighteous. You understand?
Right,
Read on.
Khan.
Verse 7.
7, yeah. We wearied ourselves, Khan, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it.
Mm-hmm. So as for the way of the
What we
Lord, they have not known it, man. As for all the ways of the Father and the ways of righteousness, they have not known it, man. They have gone through wickedness They have wearied themselves in the unrighteousness of this world. You understand? We have wearied ourselves in the ways of this world as a people. You understand? Many of us have,
Right.
and so consumed by it, we cannot look any other way. But we must
Right.
understand that there is a day when those who have committed themselves to that life and and conform themselves to this vile kingdom and its vile ways, in that day you will recognize your place and your fault, and there will be no
Right.
turning back from it. Man. Your judgment will be, you understand? And it is not something that is preyed upon here in the UPK, but it is something that we acknowledge as a fact because it is prophesied that it will be so. It is known and open knowledge that those of our brothers and sisters will openly reject the truth, but then openly love their oppressor and be
Right.
weak. Well, then the judgment of the Lord will must stand. You understand? And in
Right.
that day, as we're reading, these are brothers and sisters acknowledging their faults and all that they have endured and all that they've taken up in this world, and how it is vanity, and it all is meant nothing because at this time the Lord will bring forth judgment. Read on.
Qadwan Khan, what have we what hath pride profited us? Or
Mm-hmm.
what good have riches with our vaunting brought us?
You understand? All the riches and the pride and all the vanities of this world, what has it brought us, man? As a nation of people, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, all these riches and pride and all the things of this world has profited us nothing, man. It has only contributed to the further destruction of our own brothers and sisters. When we fail to see the way of the truth, we fail to acknowledge righteousness and to take part in righteousness, we should be ignorant and continue following vanity and weakness, we will find judgment. That's the end of every tunnel, man. They never told there's either a great reward or great judgment. Either way, you would have earned it. You understand? And that's what the Lord is coming to do. He is not coming to bring rainbow kisses and love and all that BS. No, he's bringing death and destruction and righteous judgment because it must
Right.
be that these things happen. You understand?
Right.
So, like, if you can drop that though, and
Khan.
can you get Revelations chapter 11 and verse 12?
Revelations 11, verse 12.
Mm.
And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to the heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
Okay, so you understand this is a heavy and deep scripture, man. You
Right.
understand? In this is exactly what the Lord will do for Yasha'Allah, man. This is exactly what our foremothers and forefathers, you understand, were singing of in the cotton fields, the sugarcane fields, man. You understand? Well, read that one more time, Bob Shaw.
Qadwan Khan, sir. Revelations 11, verse 12. And they heard, Salakia, yeah, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
So you understand that this is our people being delivered, man. This is the salvation of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans right here. You understand? This is us being delivered into the clouds, man, into the chariots as we have broken down, as we have gone into,
God.
and we have defiled in the scriptures of how the chariots of the Lord, which are the so-called UFOs, which are also referred to as the clouds. You understand? We will go up into those clouds, man. Those vessels of war, those will be our salvation and our enemies' destruction. That's how it's gonna be, man. Those vessels of
Right.
war is just how our foreparents in the cotton field used to sing of, man. That sweet
Right.
chariot coming down to carry them home, carry them to the Yasha Allah, carry them to the Father and our King. in true salvation. Salvation from who? Our enemies, man. Our oppressor. Read that again, Salakia. The last bit,
Cancer,
Salakia, the last bit about the enemies.
cancer, cancer. And they ascended up into heaven, to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
You understand? Our enemies, man. The so-called Caucasian, man. The Arab man, the Indian, the African, the Chinese, the Japanese, all these nations round about us that oppressed and destroyed our people will observe and see and behold us being delivered to the heavens. And then they will see a great host. They will see a great host coming. And it will not be, not that they may think it is, but it will not be coming to deliver them into the heavens and into the cloud. But it will be coming to bring them great, swift, and great and earned, utterly earned, you understand, earned destruction and death. You know
Right.
what I mean? That's what the Lord will bring. The Lord has not forgotten the crimes committed against his people
Can't.
and the wickedness that has been pushed and has been taught in this kingdom, man. He will not forget all that has been done, all their crimes. You know what I mean? Your Christian pastor, your Christians in the church may forget about the crimes that have been committed unto their people. You understand? But let alone the Lord, he will not. He will never forget the crimes that have been committed unto Yahshua. You understand? Those who truly understand justice will not forget the crimes of their enemies. You
Right.
understand? And our enemy will have swift judgment brought upon him.
Right.
Hey, Shalom, we have a such thought. You understand? And this is the thing, man. The Lord is going to bring his swift judgment, man. Whether anybody likes it or not, whether you accept it or not. Those so-called UFOs will be your end. You know what I mean? It will be the end of this empire, man. It will be the great destruction that has long overdue for these nations, man. But it will be in the
Right.
Lord's time, man. And he's fit, that's when it's the right time. You understand? Read on from there, Bishop.
Cancer. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the
Mm-hmm.
earthquake was slain of men 7,000, and the
Mm-hmm.
remnant were affrighted and gave glory to Yahweh of heaven.
You understand? Many people will be destroyed and slaughtered, man. You understand? They will beg for their lives and beg for mercy, but slaughter and destruction will come. The judgment that is to come unto the crimes, because of the crimes of these people, man. They believe themselves, they're free, they're scot free, they're going to get away with all that they have done. But the Lord will bring forth this judgment. You know what I mean? Whether you like it or not, or whether you accept it or not, it will go down. You know what I mean? And there's nothing that anyone can say or do about it to prevent this. You understand? The only way you can, as a Black Hispanic and Native American, keep yourself aligned with what is righteous and sensible is to pick a side, man. And picking a side is to choose the service of the Most High and our King, and also to learn brotherhood, man. You know what I mean? To make sure that you are not a part of this destruction and you will not fit the categories that stand against and oppose the Most High. You would choose brotherhood, man. You would choose to look into your brothers and sisters and see the great precious gold that they are. In the midst of all that they may be covered in, they are gold in the true reality of things, man. You understand? You will see the precious gold of your brothers and sisters, and you will see the value of another Black, Hispanic, or Native American. Because you would choose brotherhood and the service of the Lord over your own vanity, over your own lust. You understand? Alright, drop that. Just one more for the UFO precepts. If you can get me Isaiah 26 and verse 20, brother, sure.
It's like Isaiah 26 verse 20.
Yeah, Isaiah 26 and verse 20.
Come. Book
Uh,
of Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee, Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the
Go ahead.
indignation be overpast.
That's right, man. The indignation, you understand? The chambers is referring to is the chariots, man. You come into the chariots, and and you'll be delivered. While we look down and we see the destruction, the indignation of these other nations, man. We see the destruction that has come upon them, man. We see all the judgment that they have long been overdue, and we witness their demise, man. While we are safe in the clutches of the Most High, in those vessels of war, safely away from the damage and destruction. Read it one more time, Bob Shaw. You still there? I don't know what. I think you're frozen right now.
So like, yeah, my internet dropped. Back on.
Oh, no, Flip. No, Flip. If you can read that again, Bob Shaw.
Come, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast.
Mm-hmm.
For behold, the
Is
Lord
that even
cometh
that?
out. It's like you say again.
No, read on. So that
Go on. For
my,
behold, the
go ahead.
Lord cometh out. For the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall
Mm-hmm.
disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain.
That's right, man. You understand? She shall no more cover her slain, man. You know what I mean? The destruction of the Lord will be at its highest, man. We will be safe in the chariots of the Lord while there is just warfare and chaos and terror upon the earth, which is what these nations deserve, man. It is only right because of all the terror that they have put blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans through for all these over 500 years. You understand? All these years of destruction and terror that we have endured in this place, man, they will endure great judgment. And this is what these chariots, these UFOs will come to do. So any heathen that sees a chariot of the Lord, listen, man, or UFO as you may know them, just understand that that is your end. You best be fearful when you see one. You better hide in your little house and live in fear, because that is will come to bring forth your demise. And if you was any wiser, you would make sure that you pay any type of money you may have to the UPK. You understand? You pay your money and pay your respects to your future rulers, man. You understand? And you know, what I mean, when the time is right, you understand. You kiss the boots of the prophets, man. Whenever you see those brats as warriors on the street corners in the UPK teaching the school, you better humble yourself, man, and bow to your real rulers of this earth, man. You understand? Because that is the way of things, man. That's the way the things will be, and that's the way the world will and shall be. You understand? So if we can just jump to the brotherhood side of things now, you understand? In understanding the prophecies of the Lord, and understanding what the chariots of the Lord will do, and the judgment of the Lord that they will bring forth, we have to understand as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that we are that chosen people who, you know, this great and terrible power, Yahweh, our power, man, you understand? And our King Shai has chosen us to serve him, man. Chosen us to be that powerful nation of this earth. And we should damn sure make sure that we acknowledge our brothers and sisters, man. We should damn sure recognize that yes, we are the chosen of the Lord, and the Most High will avenge us, man. You understand? Well, then the least we can do, the very bare minimum we could do, is have some brotherhood, man. Have some sisterhood, and recognize your people, man. Recognize your family, man. You understand? So if you could get me, First John chapter 4 verse 18, Brother Shaw. You understand? We need to recognize that we are that nation of people who will receive such great love and have received such compassion and mercy from the Most High. In the midst of Him choosing us, we have gone back and forth, backsliding, serving their false gods and idols, loving the heathen, just hating our own brothers and sisters. But the Lord has given us a time and a sanctuary and a place to restore what was lost, man. He has given us that mercy to come back to the service of Him so that He can still reward us in our righteousness, man. You understand? But we need to remember our brothers and sisters, man. We need to remember the plight and the suffering that they go through, just like us. And we need to have that compassion and have some compassion and love for our brothers and sisters, man. You understand? Our people, man. You understand? Read that book, Michelle.
Right. The book of 1 John, chapter 4 and verse 18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth not fear,
Mm-hmm.
because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love.
That's right, man. You understand? There can be no fear in you choosing a side, man. There can be no fear in you taking yourself away from all that you have conformed to in this earth. In loving Christmas and birthdays and all the manners of nonsense that we've learned in this damn place, and the mindset and the philosophies and views of this place, there is nothing, there's nothing that no fear should hold you from turning from that and the love of this place and the love of Massa. Nothing should turn, nothing, no fear should keep you from turning from that uncleanness and coming to the Lord, man. Nothing should keep you from your culture and your brothers and sisters, man. And truly loving the Most High and truly loving your brothers and sisters as you love yourself, man. And truly acknowledging yourself to who you are. No fear should allow any brother or sister to forget what the Lord did for our forefathers, man, and the compassion and mercy that He has given us to still be here today and still be strong as a people. We should remember brotherhood, man, and we should come back to that true love that has no fear, man. You have no fear to say you love your people, man. You don't love anybody else. You love the Most High, and you ain't down with anything that goes against Him. You should not have fear to stand boldly in righteousness and stand boldly with your people. You understand? Read on.
Okay. We love him because he first loved us. If a man
Mm-hmm.
say, I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For
There
he
you go,
that
man.
loveth not.
You understand? And this is that's like this is a precept that people say and hear all the time, but this is a deep and heavy scripture, man. Because why? It's so evident within our communities that we hate the Most High. As a body of people, we have forsaken the Lord. And you know how we have mainly done that? Because we have hated our brothers and sisters for far too long, man. You understand? We cannot then say we serve the Most High, like in the Christian church when they run them out talking about they love God, they love this, they love that. But yet their hatred for their people is above all things, man. You understand? You think that their people are the ones who put them in chains and made them to suffer how they are suffering. No. The oppressor has done these things, man. Your enemies have. But you have learned to be weak and learned to be a slave. And so now you have only learned to hate yourself. So in actual fact, you will definitely hate your brothers and sisters and treat them like nothing. And with that, you damn sure hate the Most High in Christ. You understand? So read that again, that last bit again, Slappy.
Come on, come on. If a man say, I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
Mm-hmm.
For he that
There you
loveth
go,
not
man.
his
Simple
brother,
as that.
Suck it.
Go ahead, no, go ahead, Slappy. Go ahead.
For he that loveth his brother, for he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
There you go, man. You know, there is no version of this, of the service of the Most High where you can love. Slack it. There's no version of serving the Most High when you can hate your brother ridiculously or your sister and not and still love the Most High. It's impossible. If you hate your brothers and sisters, your people, you hate the Most High, man. And that's just how it is. That's why we need to remember that as we've just gone through, the chariots of the Lord and the great vessels of destruction that will come and that have been orbiting and flying around on the earth for many years and centuries. You understand, right? These will one day reveal themselves openly and bring great slaughter to these lands, as we have just read and broken down. And so, understanding that, we should damn sure understand that if you hate your brother or your sisters, you hate the Most High. And if you hate the Most High, it means you are an adversary to the Lord. And if you're an adversary to the Lord, those chariots and the things that we read and that was written and that we went through, that was spoken of in the scriptures of how the destruction will come and how it will go down, you understand? You will be on the other side of that, man. You won't be the one being brought up in the chambers or the chariot or the cloud. You will be the ones receiving the destruction that comes about from those chariots and clouds. You understand? And that's why we as a people need to recognize where we stand today. In 2021, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans need to acknowledge themselves, man, and acknowledge brotherhood and sisterhood in its entirety, because there is no version of that where you can get escape brotherhood. There's no version of any where you can escape, go into your brother between you and you alone and dealing with that sincerely, because you sincerely want to build with your brothers and sisters, rather than trying to be like in the world where you only think to destroy and bring down your brothers and sisters for the smallest things. And that's the way that will not save us, man. That's the way that has only allowed our communities to be the way they are, where we're slaughtering each other left, right, and center. And in the midst of that, we have heathens killing us too. And so it's a losing battle. You understand? So if you drop that, Bokashar, can you get me Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 7, Bokashar?
In the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
You understand? And there you go again, man. You understand? Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 7, man. You understand? You know what I mean? You cannot fear the Lord without wanting to take instructions. You understand? You have to want to take instructions and orders. And to fear the Lord is the only way you will receive any level of wisdom or understanding. You understand? When you have no fear of the Most High and you have no regard or respect for the Lord and the King of heaven and earth, you have no regard for His power and His place, then listen, man, how the hell can you ever receive any wisdom if you can't even fathom something as basic as that, man? And you can't fathom that, taking a blunt and smoking your brains out is against the Lord, man. And our people and our Benjamites, we learned that from the East Indian when they want to serve their gods, man. You understand? When we have to acknowledge that when we live a lifestyle that damages our brothers and sisters, which is against brotherhood, which is against the Most High, we will, in actual fact, do things that will anger the Lord, and we will never receive wisdom in doing that. Because if you were willing to do things like that, which are against the Most High, you will never, you damn sure can never have no fear. And without that fear and that respect of the Most High, you will never have wisdom. You will never be able to discern what is right and wrong, or know how to conduct yourself. You know what I mean? Read on.
Okay. Verse 8. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother.
There you go, man. You understand? We have to forsake the law, man. We have to forsake the instruction and the law which the Most High gave us, man. We're not supposed to forsake these things because these are the things in what builds up our fundamentals, man. These are the things that what will restore brotherhood within our communities and will make us stronger as a people. Once more, as we once were, but better. We'll be better than we once were because in this time, this is a different age, man. And this age, when we restore the brotherhood and sisterhood, and we keep it 100%, listen, man, there is nothing that can stand between us and the Most High. And then there's nothing that can stand against us, because with the Lord is by our side, nothing and no nation, no military, nothing can stand against children of Israel once the Lord is with them. You know what I mean? Alright, so like if you get me Leviticus 19 and verse 17, Bokasha.
Okay. The book of Leviticus,
You
chapter
understand?
19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
And there you go, man. We shall not suffer sin upon our brothers and sisters. In the midst of this kingdom, we should be bold in the face of righteousness. We should be bold, we should be bold in the stance of righteousness. And we shall stand boldly in the face of the unrighteous, showing them that there is a different way where you don't have to conform to every damn thing that you see around here, man. That you can be different from everybody else and stand with some integrity. That you don't just follow fashion and just do whatever else is doing. You do what is right according to knowledge, man, and sense. You do things because you don't want to teach a bad lesson. You don't go to no Christmas party because you want to show your people that they are in error and you are different from them. You will not teach them to do an unclean and wicked thing. You will not suffer wickedness to be upon them, because you will not take part in wickedness and show them that it's okay. You will stand boldly against it, no matter how they may think it's nothing, no matter how the world may think it's just nothing. What you do is stand, and you're supposed to be an example to the people. You cannot do not take part in things that go against the law of the Most High and go against integrity. When your people see you do things that they do, smoking, sniffing, defiling yourself with this world and copying the things that they do, listen, man, that will only show them that, one, in their mind, that okay, he's doing it, so it's cool, and two, they're already gonna do it anyway, so you're just making them feel comfortable. When they're around you, they should not feel comfortable to do the things that they do. They should not feel good about doing and living a certain way. They should think, oh, he's around, he's gonna say this, or he ain't about that. That's how they should think, or she. You know what I mean? Brothers and sisters in the truth. You understand? They should think, listen, man, nah, you can't be around him doing that. He's gonna be all on some, they have that level of not only fear but respect, because it's like a thing where they may disrespect it and think, oh, he's just this, he's just that, or she's just this, she's just that. When you stand boldly for the Lord, the precepts like this will echo in your brain, man. You understand? When you walk in your day to day and you see certain things that are done in this society, that something that you're doing is similar and it is not exactly one West. And it's like they do that, we don't do that. We separate, we do this. You understand? We don't want to suffer them to do evil, man. We want to show them that, listen, man, you can live a life, have your wives and your children, and work and make decent money, but you don't have to throw away your integrity to do so. You can have nice things in this world. You can live a decent, successful life, but you don't have to throw away your integrity to do so. You understand? You don't have to conform to this world to do so. You understand? You don't have to forsake your people and your God. You understand? Just to make everyone else feel good and make them reward you with their nonsense. Nah. You stand boldly with integrity because of for the brotherhood and for the Most High, man. You understand? You stand boldly because you want your brothers and sisters to see something different from the things that they have only known in this place, man. You understand? Read on.
Okay. Verse 18. Thou shalt thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love
And
thy
here we go,
neighbor as
man.
thyself.
Bearing it. And there you go, man. You understand? We shall not bear any grudge in the children of our people, man. In the midst of all the things that we grow up and deal with in the community, wherever we may dwell, you understand? We have such a compassion and such a mercy for our brothers and sisters, man. You understand? When our family does wrong and does ill against us, we should have so much time and so much compassion and so much patience for them because they are our own, man. And because the Lord saw fit to give us, a rebellious nation, such much compassion and mercy, man. You understand? You teach them a righteous thing when they do you wrong. And you stand boldly in the face of righteousness and listen. You're not going to be pushed around and take foolishness. You will stand your ground and fight to the death. But you are not going to also commit to the actions of vengeance and bearing grudges. You will forgive them wholeheartedly and sincerely and remember the law in all things. Remember that compassion that you are bound to give them because they are the same blood as you. Because they come from the loins of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, just like you. You understand? And even if they be in the world or not, we still have to give them that compassion because we have to be that example of righteousness. But they make no mistake. People do get misconstrued and do get a little bit discombobulated and do have a little bit of a brain freeze and think that because we're reading the Bible and we're talking about the Most High that we're some Christians out here. That is not the case. Understand that we are not Christian. We will fight to the death and hold it down and die fighting rather than dying like a coward. We will not be wimps out here. We're not the Christian church. The true servants of the Most High are warriors, man. You understand? We are the warlike vibe because why? The Lord is a man of war. You understand? We are not violent. We are not going to attack people on the road like hooligans in the football game. You understand? But we remain disciplined and righteous and just within ourselves. And we will not take no BS, man. If it's a headbutt you want, listen, you cross a certain line, you go find it. You understand? But know this, we will defend ourselves. But in the midst of all things, we will project righteousness above all, man. And we will bestow mercy unto those who are owed mercy, man. You understand? In the midst of everything, we are taught wisely, man. You understand? Under command and during YAHANNA, the orders that we have been given and the way we've been raised up, we have been bound to discipline and order and that structure, man, where we can never stray from it. You understand? All things lawful, but yet we will not be pushed around either. So understand that when we talk about mercy and compassion, it does not mean that we're going to allow any of our brothers and sisters to act any way. But we will show them that compassion, meaning what? We will never try to avenge them. We will never try to get them back or try to hold a grudge. No, we just keep it real. And we will know, listen, this person operates like this, or she operates like this. And we will move accordingly. But we will not be fake. We'll keep it real, we'll keep it one West in all things, man. And we'll remember who we serve, man, and what we're here to do. We're here to remind and warn the people of their coming end, of this place's coming end, and that there is something greater for them. That they are the princes of the power, man, or the princesses of the power. You understand? They come from a royal bloodline of people, but they have known nothing else. And so that is why we must bestow such mercy upon them, because they don't know better, and they've only been taught generation upon generation of indoctrination from the Christian church to only hate themselves and hate their brothers and sisters. And so we must be that light for them. We must show them that, listen, man, there's something great. You come from something great. And every black, Hispanic, and Native American knows that they come from something great. Everyone knows where you know you come from something great. And you do. You're supposed to be the priest, the princes and the priests, and the rulers of this earth. You understand? Rightful rulers of this earth in righteousness, man. And there is a way of things that we once knew that many other people do not know. You understand? Read on.
Oh, come. Listen.
Read on from bearing a grudge and that, yeah?
Come on. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
There you go, man.
Ye shall keep
children of our people, man. The children of our people. That's who we give our mercy unto, man. That's who we should give our compassion unto, man. Not no damn devil. Not no filthy heathen that have oppressed and destroyed our people. Listen, man, I got all the grudges for them. I got all the gripe for them, man. I'm telling you right now. I got all the jive for them. But my brothers and sisters, listen, man. There's a mercy that cannot be broken. You understand? Now there is limits. There are things that we're not going to allow, like I said before. You understand? But there's a mercy that they have that a heathen will never have, man. You understand? There's a level of compassion that they have that a heathen will never have, man. You understand? And they're the children of thy people, man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Those are our brothers and sisters, man. Those are who we should look about, man. Those are people that we should be thinking about, not anybody else. You understand? Not anything, not no people in Greece right now set on burn on fire. You know, listen, man, let them burn, bro. You understand? Not no one in Nigeria or friggin', you know, name sort of China. You know what I mean? Japan. Listen, man, let them suffer, man. Because what they're suffering is nothing but a small piece of what we have been through, man. You understand? So listen, man, let our compassion be for our brothers and sisters. And we should remember ourselves, man. Remember who we come from, man. You understand? So drop that Boca Shah, and can you get me 1 John chapter 2 and verse 11, Boca Shah?
Book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 11. But he that hateth his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness.
Read it one more time, Boca Shah.
But he that hateth his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness.
There you go, man. If you hate your brother, man, your fellow black man the transatlantic slave trade, man. You understand? Those brothers were brought to the Caribbean and the Americas, you understand? And were scattered to the four corners of the earth. Those natives of North, Central, South America who were brought on slave ships to Seville, Spain, you understand, and were brought forth in great oppression and slaughter by the so-called white man, just like you. If you have any hatred for them and any one of those people, man, you are in darkness, man. And you walk in darkness. There is no light in you, man. You understand? Because you have been so consumed by this place and so defiled by it that you cannot even see that those are your brothers, man. Those are the ones who have suffered just like you. Those are the ones who fulfilled prophecy just like you. Those are the sons and daughters of Yasha Allah just like you. Those are the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, of the chosen seed of the Most High, just like you, man. They have been stripped of their heritage and their language and their culture and way, just like you. And you hate them? Nah, man. Listen, man. Read that one more time.
Come on. Verse 2 verse 11. But he that hateth his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness.
There you go, man. And it's as simple as that, man. Only judgment will you find, man. When the Lord will bring swift death and destruction upon those who will stand against righteousness, man. You understand? There is a mercy and a compassion the Lord has, but that is only in the hands of the Most High, the Father. You understand? Our job is to give compassion and forgiveness and to walk wisely among the people. But the Most High, listen, man, if you are not careful, the Lord can catch you up easy. And so that's why we have to remember ourselves, man. Remember all that we have to consider in this place that we live in. In the midst of all the things that we have enjoyed as a people, we should remember the least we should remember is brotherhood, man. It is bigger than the least, but it is so simple but so hard to do. You understand? But that is the battle that we should face in this time that we live in. Facing against the self-hatred that is so pushed in this society, man. You understand? Any more on that?
Come on. And knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness hath blinded his eyes.
That's right, man. And there you go. Darkness has blinded his eyes, man. He can't see what's going on. He can't see that the oppressor has put his brothers and sisters in a predicament to hate on each other and kill each other. You know what I mean? Fed drugs and weapons in our communities, pushed vain and unclean philosophies to feminize our men and masculinize our women. They have done all these atrocities, man, in the midst of those Christian churches, man, which you find all around the neighborhood, man. The vessels of hell, man. You understand? And these are the things that the darkness has not allowed certain brothers to witness, man. They can't even comprehend it. They can't even comprehend that in the midst of the bigger picture of things, you're mad at him for something, but the whole picture, why you're even in the certain predicament and in a situation where you think you have to grab for money and survive, is because the oppressor is the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, man. You understand?
That's right.
And the spirit of weakness is flown throughout the ghettos and the barrios and the reservations, making our men weak so that we cannot stand strong for what is right. You understand? In the UPK on the Command General YAHANNA, this is where we stand for strength, man. This is where blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans find and reach back for their integrity, man, and come back to their true selves, man. You understand? Because our true selves in this society have been lost. They want us to be a dying breed, but not if the Most High has anything to say about it, man. Not if there's righteous men and leaders like there's a righteous leader like Command General YAHANNA around, man. That the Lord is with. You understand? And this is why we need to stand for integrity in understanding what brotherhood means, man. Brotherhood means and sisterhood means that you cannot put any other nation above your own. Brotherhood means that you can't even think of the needs of others before you think of your own people, man. You understand? And in the midst of this kingdom, how can you think of the needs of other nations, man? How can you ever think of them in the midst of all the suffering of blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, man? Have you seen Haiti? Have you seen Venezuela? You understand? Colombia, Honduras, you understand? Mexico. Have you seen Michigan? You understand? Have you seen Chicago? Have you seen all these cities? Have you seen London? Have you seen Brixton? Have you seen Croydon, Peckham? Have you seen Birmingham, Manchester? You understand? Have you seen these places? Have you seen your brothers and sisters in this place and how they're living? But yet you want to think about some other nation, go to Africa or some other country, man. You living in the damn clouds like a damn fairy, man. Remember who you are and look at your people suffering and dying, man. That's brotherhood. Brotherhood is that. Brotherhood ain't in the church banging a tambourine, wearing a bow tie and grinning teeth. That's not brotherhood, man. That's weakness. That's being a slave. You understand? But a brotherhood is long forgotten, but it shall be remembered on this earth today. You understand? Where you at now?
First John chapter 2 and 11.
Okay, no sweat. If you drop that, can you get me Matthew 5 and verse 43 over the show?
Come on. Book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 43. Ye have heard that it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you,
Mm-hmm.
do good to them that hate you,
This is
and
the
pray
end.
for them. Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Praise them that what?
It's bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
There you go, man. Despitefully use and persecute you, man. Ain't that the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans today conformed and so defiled and brain and just brainwashed by the philosophies of the Christian church, man. So defiled and so, you know, confounded by the lies of the Christian church of this society that we live in. They persecute us. They stand against us, wearing their bold face and bold heads and their little ties and their tight clothes and their weakness, hiding behind their women. You understand? Literally cowering behind their women while their women run the church. You know what I mean? This is our brothers, man. They stand against us. They stand against the masculinity of the truth because they have only learned to be weak. They stand for drugs and destruction and self-destruction, man. They stand for this because they have not known any way and they have been compromised mentally. They've been compromised in their thinking from the youth. You understand? From their youngness, man. You understand? And now today, our battle is against them. Our battle is against the minds and the strongholds upon the minds of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Our battle is that. Our battle is to retrieve back and to restore the minds of our young brothers and sisters. But it is a battle. You understand? And this is the battle that is not carnal. But the carnal battle will come, and that is not for now. But our battle now is the battle for the minds of our people, man. They have been so far gone for so long, and yet they have now become our enemies. You understand? Because they have so conformed to loving massa and being subservient to those who oppress and destroy them, rather than their own brothers and sisters. They have now become our enemies, and we now have to bestow that mercy and compassion and forgiveness upon them, even though they are like you go to camp, you find out who's standing against you. Listen, man, you're gonna get one or two oppressors, but really and truly, you're gonna get your brothers and sisters in the Rastafarianism, in the Christian church, in the Muslim mosque, in the fake Israelite group, coming up against you because they have become so weak in this place to defile themselves with the doctrine that they think is right and the lifestyle they think is okay. Whether it be drug dealing, being a prostitute, you name it, being a homosexual, all these things. They have been defiled by our oppressor, and in turn they have become our enemies. And these are the enemies we must have compassion upon. These are the enemies that we must forgive. And read that again about our enemy. Read it again, Slappy.
Okay. Ye have heard that it has been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully
Mhm.
use you and persecute you.
We do good to them that use us, man. You know why? Because we have food drive PK, man, all over the world, man. We have food drives for those brothers and sisters who still hate us, wear a bow tie and eat, bean pies and bow to a stupid stone in the midst of a desert, or want to love the Christian church and love white Jesus, or want to smoke weed and subconsciously worship Hindu god, which is from the East Indians. You understand? We bestow greatness and good and do the good unto them and pray for them because yes, they are our enemies because they choose to commit themselves to these lifestyles and ways that are not correct. But we still give them that love and compassion. We still give them that forgiveness and compassion that, you know, in this place we have never known to do, man. You understand? And this is the enemy that we must look about, man. Not the enemy, not our true enemies. You understand? This is what Christ was speaking of when he referred to the enemies that we should love. He's talking about our brothers and sisters, man. You understand? Okay, but for time's sake, if you could drop that, can you get me Matthew 22, verse 37?
Um, Book of Matthew, chapter 22, and verse 27. And last of all,
Mm-hmm.
the women died also, or the woman died also.
It's like a 37.
It's like chapter 22 and verse 36. It's like chapter 22 and
37, yeah.
37. Come on, come on. Jesus said unto him,
Fuck, yeah.
thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This
Mm-hmm.
is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it.
So the first and greatest commandment, right? The first and greatest commandment is to serve and love the Most High, man. The Most High has given us laws that we are to obey. He's given us feast days and customs that we must follow and keep. And then we have statutes that come after that from the Lord, you understand? That we must follow and keep. And these are the ways we must serve the Most High. But read the second Salakia.
Come This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Mm-hmm. There you go, man.
On these
We should love
on
our
these
neighbor as ourselves. You understand? Just like we read in Leviticus 19 and verse 17 about our neighbors, you read on down to verse 18, right? You understand that your neighbor is your brother according to thy, but the people, the children of thy people, man. You understand? Other blacks of the transatlantic slave trade and natives of North Central South America, man. These are the children of thy people that we are to love and have compassion for, man. And we are to love them as ourselves. We are to treat them accordingly. You know what I mean? How we want to be treated in the midst of ourselves, we will try to treat them as well, man. You understand? That's what we are commanded to do. You understand? We're supposed to think upon what we would require and think upon their needs also. Read on.
Come. Verse 30. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Go ahead.
Verse 41. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying,
No, you got it. You got it. Exactly. Yeah. You got it. You got it. Let's drop that. And can you get Galatians chapter 5 and verse 14?
Okay. Book of Galatians, chapter 5, and verse 14. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this: thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
There you go, man. We should love our neighbor as ourselves, man. You understand? All the law is fulfilled in this, man. You understand?
Right.
When you understand the law and you understand the statutes, you will understand that this is all in one, man. You understand? Because why? You loving your neighbor and you loving yourself, you would be able to know that, listen, man, you're not going to defile yourself with things of this world that are not the lawful. And in turn, if you love your neighbor or your brother, you will not, you understand, defile so like you will not defile your brother or your sister with these things, man. You will not allow them, do not suffer sin upon them. So you will teach them the way they should be and conduct themselves in both your actions and what you say. You understand? Read on.
Okay. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another. This I say then: walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
There you go, man. You walk in the spirit of the Lord. You walk in the vibe of the Most High. You understand? In all that you do, listen, man. You ain't gonna fulfill the lust of the flesh. You ain't gonna forsake the law and the commandments, man. You ain't gonna forsake the culture and the heritage of Yasha man. You will never forget what the Lord gave you and gave us to keep and to conduct ourselves with, man. You'll never forget them because while you're in the vibe of the Lord, man, everything you do, everything you say is based on what the Most High has given us, man. You understand? Read on.
Right. Okay. It's like, yeah. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now, the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, and heresies, it's like envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like.
Mm-hmm. All these
Of
things
which I
that is just read, right? These are the things which will defile us, man. And these are the things of the carnality of this world. You understand? These are
right,
the carnal things which is only what we've only known as regular life in today, man, in 2021. And so we cannot forsake all that we've learned and understood here for the vain foolishness of the world, man. You understand? You know what I mean? So, no questions online. Um, right. So you understand? We're gonna close up though. That's the Tuesday. This has been the Tuesday Brotherhood class. You know what I mean? And tomorrow, you understand, there's gonna be from 7 p.m. same time, 7 p.m. to 9. There's gonna be the Wednesday law class. You understand? Done by priest and officer of 5,000, Donald Bar. You understand? The Blood Warrior. You understand? Done in Birmingham. And yeah, I'm gonna pass the class over to the trooper for our one with the announcements.
Khan. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started as 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. Rules for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or the teacher. Priest fund, which is a free will offering for the priest, is not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. It's like I remember it's the 6th of September. It's the
Memorial Blow of Trumpets.
Khan. All Acumen Akraf, remember to check the bulletin board in the hallway, and if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. That's boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. With that, I'm Martin. Whereas face the east and say the Lord's Prayer. Abinawa.
Oh no.
Shabbat Shemayim.
What's your mind? Kadash.
Yeah.
Hayah. Sokar.
Hawa.
Yahweh.
Lakwafka.
Malakavka. Taba'a.
Ratizaka. Hayah.
Watazaka. Ayah.
Resha.
Resha.
Ba'aratiza.
Baratiza.
Hayah.
Kobol.
Washamayim.
Hayah.
Nathanael.
Washamayim.
Lakam.
Nathanael.
Ka. Yawam. Wasalakna.
Wasalakna.
Ka Salakna.
Kawafna.
Ka Wawafna.
Wasalakna.
Wala'a.
Kawafna.
Tabaya.
Wala'a.
Wanasaya Wan.
Tabaya Ainoha.
Abba.
Wanasaya One.
Hawashina.
Abba.
Mayan.
Hawashina. Mayan.
Ya.
Right.
Laka.
Ya.
Hamalakra.
Laka. Hamalakra.
Allah. Wahathapara.
Wa'ala.
La'ai Walanya.
Wa'ala.
Aman.
La'ai Walanya. Oh man, in the English, our Father,
O Father,
which art in heaven,
right in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
Which is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
We forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not.
Into temptation.
Temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
Glory.
Forever. So
Forever.
be it.
So be it.
And with that courtesy salute, I margin Shabbat, I margin Barak.
Yeah. Yahweh Hashem Yahshai Barakatah.
Yahweh Shemi Al-Shabbat. Yes, I'm a top. Class dismissed. Long. Yahweh Shemi Al-Shabbat.
Shalom. Yabashim Yashabbat.